What's up, dudes or gals, if you guys watch me. Wow, I just like raged so pain myself, but like we just had all our contacts for a webinar was set for like the 26th when the webinar date was the 28th, and the 1 day away reminder sent just now. So first of all, that's shitty. Was the emails, since it's our software that we're using, it's firing on both event dates. So there will be two 96 hours before emails, and they're both the same thing, but it's triggered on both days. So one triggered yesterday and one triggered today. Same email, same copy, same everything, but the software literally so fucking stupid. Spent like 10 grand on ad spend, which is not much. You know, these stupid small mistakes that I'm so, So, and then another thing that happened was, I think I saved it though. I think I did save it. It might be a really, really cool marketing tactic because it said, oops, this sent out 2 days early. See you Wednesday, and then their name at 5 p.m. Central. So many people signed up, it broke the system, and then an emoji. Last time had over 1,000 people come on. And then I realized it wasn't even fucking Wednesday. It was that started on day one. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's when I like literally just started getting raging. I didn't literally punch my screen like if I was like Call of Duty or some shit, but like, oh my gosh. And then I had to do a blast that corrected saying Thursday in the star, and then like the upper arrow. Oh my gosh, this is like, I think I saved it though. People are responding to like LOL, they're laughing, and I think I may have saved it. I don't know, maybe I saved it. Just praying it does. Oh man. Just do a couple quick checks. You know, man, this is so frustrating because I thought we looked over this and we thought we were good. Actually, we were not good. So that's fucked. But I think I'm like, I'm just, I don't know. I'm just so fucking just of all this bullshit. I'm just gonna check a couple of things just to make sure a couple of things fire properly. Oh, I think it looks good. This shit's just fucking, man. I've never like been. My entire career have I been. This was my fault. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. You know, maybe. But I've never fucked up. I've never fucked up that hard. I fucked hard in my career, but this was a huge fuck up because it was like a lot of leads. You know, good thing, you know, thank God, you know, I'd be grateful here. Thank God it wasn't like fucking 2 hours before the fucking event. And, cause we had this happen before where messages were literally going out at 3 saying show up right now, and the event was at, so it's like, what the fuck, you know? So, whatever, we're good. I think we're back on track. Hopefully I'm going to do just another check just cause I'm talking about this. I'm just worried now. But now we're doing our check here. So set event time 28th, 5 p.m. Create opportunity. SM initially goes out. Waits 12 hours before. Sends today's the day 3 hours before. In 3 hours, 1 hour before. Going live. Voice reminder 5 minutes after. I mean, if we don't get fucking at least 500 people to show up, it's like, I don't know. That shit was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like we're building better rapport with the leads. Not gonna lie, because I've never been so involved in the marketing side. I'm always on the product side, but now I'm like a lot more involved in the marketing side, and like I'm learning a lot of things about everything. And if you're doing a webinar, make sure that your shit is set up properly with all that SMS stuff, bro. Like you think good, but then it comes and fucks you. That's the shit, all right? But what I realized is after we perfect this, we can have an SOP in place, have an offshore employee go and do this every fucking week. We make 500K a month. It's easy, you know, right? So, and not about the money. It's about being able to help more people, you know, bring more people in for them to do deals with us. You know, it's fucking awesome. But, you know, I'm excited. You know, what I'm going to do is I blocked off a ton of time in my calendar specifically just to make sure, and we're getting people to show up. You know, I'm calling 2 hours tomorrow, and I think 6-8 hours on Wednesday, and then on day one, I'm calling them for at least 3 hours. You know, so I'm locked in right now. You know, on Instagram is like whatever, but man, that was, you know, I had to get that off my mind. I had to record and just if you're doing a webinar, by the way, webinars are the best way to source clients. If your product is $9.97, okay, because that won't work if you have a sales floor, and that won't really work for other avenues. So webinars are great because it's like mass scale one-on-one sales consulting. Yes, will you have higher conversions on one-on-one sales calls? No shit. Will you have less show rates? No shit. However, your output per unit of time is so massively quadrupled. It's literally exponentially greater than one-on-one sales calls. One-on-one sales calls, you have to worry about each sequence. You have to worry. It's a lot different with one-on-one sales calls. Yes, will you have higher close rate? Yes. But honestly, I would do one-on-one sales calls if our product was at least greater than $1,000. If your product is anywhere between $9.97 and up to $2,000, maybe you're pushing $2,500, maybe $3,000, right on that edge, then fucking do webinars. But if not, do one-on-one sales calls, or I forget what the strategy is for 0 to 1,000. But you know, that's that. I hope you guys learned my lesson here. The lesson of the day here is to make sure, if you're doing anything marketing wise, that you're really double checking all your sequences, making sure your deliverability is right, making sure, you know, how is it actually presented to the customer, you know, always sign yourself up as a customer so that you get the leads. You see from the customer's point of view, from the lead's point of view, what they're seeing, so that if you see something wrong, always do test emails beforehand. No one emphasizes enough. Do test emails before test emails. Think of it as you're the lead, and how that looks. Make sure it's dumbed down to a 3rd grade fucking reading level or 5th grade reading level, because that's most of the US. And yeah, so, you know, our customer fulfillment system is fucking amazing, and it took us over a year to fucking perfect it. Really, it took us 2 months or even a month, because we had the right guidance and stuff like that. But we learned so much in a year, and honestly, as someone who's 18, I'm so incredibly grateful for all the things I've learned in my journey in the past year. I've learned everything about ads. I've learned about sales. I've learned about customer fulfillment. I learned about onboarding. I learned about churn. I learned about product development. I learned about all these things, and most important, about building a brand. And I don't fully get the full thing right now of building a brand. You know, I just make these videos and hope that, you know, some teenager entrepreneur is going to look at this and wake the fuck up and get out of analysis and be like, I just need to go because Andy's saying this, Andy's saying that, you know, that's what I should do. Am I saying I'm a side? No. Am I know a little bit of something about entrepreneurship? Probably. So, you know, I hope you learn from my lessons, because I just made a huge, maybe mistake actually, because shift my perspective here. Because we're actually getting a ton of responses here from my quote unquote failure. What I thought was a failure turned into a huge blessing, and a lot of times that's what actually happens. Is in that moment I thought the world was literally crumbling before my eyes. And here, let me try to show you guys real quick. Oops, I don't know if I can show you guys, but it says, so you see here, it says, oops, I put a GIF in there. Okay, that's a GIF. Oops, this sent out 2 days early. Technically, it's actually fucking like 3 days. It's supposed to say 3. See you Wednesday, and I put their first name here at 5 p.m. Central. So many people signed up, it broke the system. We only had so much space to resume. And then I had to put this shit because I realized, because someone told me, dude, it's actually Thursday. And I was like, fuck. Okay, then I sent that like 20 minutes later, Thursday. And now we're getting a ton of like, oh guys, you actually guys fuck up and you guys, you know, actually fucking breaking the system. You know, there's so many people fucking sign up. You know, maybe something like that. I'm going to drive it home by actually calling these leads and making sure, yo, I'm pumped up for tomorrow. Jamil's setting up the studio. You know, he's in Canada right now. He's setting up the studio and shit like that. So I think we're actually going to get a pretty good show rate here, maybe 50%, hopefully. So I don't know. Let's see. I'm super excited and ready to go for Thursday and Friday. Thursday, it is Thursday. Thursday happened. I went like, bah, bah, bah. And I was like yelling and shit. And man, I never felt like that. This shit was a huge mistake. So I hope it's all good now. So to dinner, I've actually been at the office for like 2 hours now. It's been a really long day, guys. So I'm gonna go to the gym, do the 3-ups challenge. Actually, I'm gonna go eat dinner right now, and then I'm gonna go to the gym and do 3-ups challenge. And if I have time, I'll do some triceps and some chest. But I think I'm at 100 squats in the challenge. Who knows? You know, I have some crazy calves. You know, I have some crazy calves. If you guys can't see, but crazy calves. You know, my quads can use a little work. Calves are probably as big in quads, which is kind of embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. That's episode 52, 53. I don't know. I have no idea. I had a lot of nicotine pieces. But man, this shit got me locked. In. I was locked in all day, man. And I'm still like pumped up. I'm still pumped up. And man, I'm just like, I'm ready to go. I have it out. You know, this is like a perfect week for me. I'll see you guys probably in the car. See you later. I just have like a month-old fucking pre-workout in here. I didn't realize it until like after a couple huge gulps. Pause. And I don't know, I feel kind of funny right now, but I'm probably overreacting. Yeah, it was kind of gross. It's all warm and shit. All fucking plastics that have been melted in it. All this fucking estrogen, all that bullshit in there. But if you guys haven't went animal-based yet, what are you doing? You're missing out on a ton of bioavailable nutrients found in meat, especially red meat. You know, I'm not too fond of chicken and pork. You know, in the Middle Eastern culture, I think pork is, you know, a lot of times looked down upon because it's considered dirty, and I'd agree with them. I would say pork a lot of times is the most number one meat most sensitive to parasites, or most common with parasites. Not that, you know, all grocery store pork is filled with fucking parasites. It's just the most likelihood of getting parasites, but that's not what I'm really worried about. If you get good, it's only if you get good quality pork from the grocery store. It's really hard to find good quality pork. You probably want to eat like wild, what is it, wild, I forget what it's called. Some like, it's always, you want to get like pigs that aren't actually, or yeah, no, it's called boar. Wild boar, stuff that doesn't feed on corn and soy, because that shit is all bullshit for you. It has a ton of linoleic acid, and if you guys don't know what linoleic acid is, pretty much from a high level view, it's actually what binds dietary like cholesterol to the walls of your arteries. It's kind of that gateway. If you think about the bouncer at a club, the more linoleic acid you have, the more fakes the bouncer will take, and pretty much the fakes are the bad cholesterol. Is LDL cholesterol actually bad? It's bad if it's bad if, you know, it's that if statement, because it's dependent on your insulin sensitivity and also your linoleic acid levels. From my understanding, that's what I understand. I might be just like completely wrong. Maybe I gotta watch some more research videos, but from my understanding, it's really the seed oils. Really, overall, you know, the common denominator with all types of diets. You know, it's like, okay, well, this guy did the vegan diet and he lost a ton of weight and he's super healthy, but this guy did the carnivore diet and he's also super healthy and got the same results. You know, there's no quote-unquote superior diet, and I would agree with that. I would say the common denominator is going to be processed sugar, refined sugar, added sugar. Now, sugar from fruits, all good for you. I think sugar from fruits is definitely good. I would say, since I'm a pre-diabetic, I don't know now if I'm still a pre-diabetic, I would say, you know, I'd have to wait till my blood test and see, you know, if I had pretty much fruit every day. However, I have cut out the complex carbs, all that fucking rice, all that bullshit processed sugar. So now I don't have that in my system, and now my body's a lot cleaner. Oh, I forget that I actually just found out yesterday that there's a bunch of fucking BPA in thermal paper. There's a bunch of BPA in thermal. I've never, all my life, I've always been touching that shit. And when I was working at the restaurant, I would always be counting the receipts and shit. And especially probably like cash money too. I don't know if that has any bullshit. It's probably, cash is also super dirty. But also I feel like this is little stuff. But it was actually a very significant amount of BPAs, which is kind of like forever chemicals, or not related in the family, but kind of in the same family as like PUFAs. And those don't actually leave your system. Ugh. So yeah, the common denominator in all the good diets, quote unquote good diets, is going to be cutting out the refined sugar, the processed sugar, the bullshit sugar. That's where you get all the health benefits. That is cutting that bullshit out. As far as like carbs, if you can handle you know, rice and shit, then yeah, you can have rice and potatoes. You can have vegetables. I'm not saying vegetables are bad for you. I'm saying if I had to pick between vegetables and meat, I'm gonna pick meat 10 out of 10 times, just because of the bioavailability of the nutrients. And I agree with, you know, Paul Saladino. I do think that from the base level, I think that, you know, plants aren't really meant to be eaten. It's their stems, they have a bunch of defense chemicals to protect them from being eaten. But you know, I don't know how much I agree with that statement, you know, because I don't really stay in a dogmatic kind of mindset a lot of times, but I tend to eat more meat than I do eat vegetables, and I tend to like to eat fruit a lot more than I have vegetables. And I feel great. I feel good. The common denominator here is, again, cutting out all the bullshit not the bullshit carbs. Well, yeah, bullshit carbs. All the seed oils, and then it's the fucking refined sugars, added sugars, and all that shit like that. So like Fruit Loops, if you're having fucking Fruit Loops and Cinnamon Toast Crunch for fucking, you're destroying your fucking body. You're really putting a bunch of bullshit Red 40. You know, all this fucking color dye, food dye, bullshit food dyes, and ingredients you can't even fucking pronounce in your body. Our bodies are not meant. It's not ancestrally consistent. It's not consistent with our diet. So I would say, if you're gonna pick a diet, whether you go animal based or you go vegan, obviously I'm a little more biased on the more carnivore animal based side, but I would say wherever you go, if it's going to be Mediterranean or all this paleo, keto bullshit, cut out all the sugars. I think sugar is the main enemy here. I think we can all agree that sugar, especially like more so added sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and all these seed oils like canola oil, and all those bullshit oils, is the one, like sunflower oil, all this shit. It's in 95% of the food we eat. It's hard to avoid. If you want to find some alternative cooking oils, if you are using that right now, you can try coconut oil. Avocado oil is good if you can find good shit. Most of it's cut with fucking bullshit vegetable oils, but most of the time you can find some good shit. Olive oil is, again, hard to find good shit. They actually did an estimate that if they juiced all the olives in the world, it wouldn't even come fraction to the total amount that's actually in the market right now. So that doesn't make any sense. So it's theoretically impossible to have it all be authentic. So from that, you know, most of the olive oil is bullshit. I was able to get some from a farmer's market
they juiced like 20, 40 pounds of olives. Whole thing was like $50, and it was only like this small ass was like probably this big. And you know, that's legit olive oil. But I think the best cooking oil is probably going to be legit Suet, grass-fed, you know, grass-finished, regeneratively raised beef tallow. I think it's going to be the best shit ever. You know, ghee, butter, the more yellow the butter is, you know, the more grass that cow had. So I would definitely recommend butter. I've been raised all my life, you know, hearing that butter was bad for you. No, it's not. It's actually pretty good for you. It's good fats. Saturated fats are good. I eat a ton of eggs. Make sure you're getting pasture-raised, soy-free, corn-free, organic, pasturally raised eggs. Cage-free just means they don't live in a cage. They still live in a fucking barn. Free range, I think free range is I think more or less the same thing. Always get organic, pasture-raised. It's gonna be like $10 a carton. But as long as, I would say, if you're on a budget, you can get a Walmart, get a big fucking sausage of just don't get any processed meat, like all that bullshit. But you can get like a big sausage looking stick of ground beef for like $3 a pound, you know, $4 a pound, 80-20. You know, something like that. For lunch, I have like a pound of ground beef, 2 eggs, and then a cup of milk, and that's my lunch. Low carbs, high protein. Getting some dairy in me to help the digestion. And then for dinner, that's when I have a little more carb heavy. I didn't have any dinner. I had to stay to the office like 6. But when I come back, I'm gonna have a nice fucking fruit smoothie, and I'm probably gonna have some ground beef for myself. So I gotta head to the gym right now, but I'll see you guys later.